Let's talk about the growth opportunity. We know the character's going on a journey. We know that this journey is why the audience wants to stick with us throughout the story. They want to see what happens. To keep the audience with us and to make them root for the character and understand our message that we're trying to get across, it's very important that the character sees a growth. The character needs to overcome obstacles. This is why conflict is so incredibly important and crucial in any good story. It shows how the character grows. Every story has some kind of transformation in them. And watching that transformation happen is very compelling for any audience. We want to root for the character, but we don't want the character to just get what they want. We want them to work for it. If it's easy, we don't like it that much. Why not? Because the value is less. The more the character has to work for it, the higher the value. That means that a character needs to get out of his comfort zone because they need to grow. This is why a story needs obstacles. These obstacles and the journey together make the story great. This is what the story pyramid is based on. There's a separate video about the story pyramid, but just to highlight, the story pyramid shows the journey with the conflicts. You can see there's a beginning, a middle, and the end, like with most stories. And in the beginning is just the introduction part, but in the middle part is where the character starts to grow, where the character runs into the obstacles, with the climax being the biggest obstacle of them all. Every story needs obstacles. Business stories need this as well. When you are pitching, for example, the story that you're using needs to show the potential client that there's a potential growth there. They need to envision the growth. Preferably, they need to see themselves within that growth. This means that you have to show your audience the growth opportunity. What are the chances of growing? The obstacle is what makes people grow. So what obstacles need to be overcome? I'd like you to start thinking about potential obstacles for your character to overcome. Write them down. To be able to write them down, you need to see and to show the journey of the character. How does this make the character grow? In the character videos, I talk about the character's character and the goals of the character. You need to bring these together with the obstacles. Together they will make for the growth journey. The character has to deal with an obstacle to reach his or her goal. This is why the obstacle is so important. It makes the character has to work for it. It makes the character has to work for the reward, the goal. We'll get to the obstacles in different videos, but first I'd like you to write down the growth opportunity for the character. What change do you want the character to go through? What is it that they're trying to get to in the end? I'll give you an example in a business story. A CEO needs to realize that he needs other people, like people from HR, to do some of his work. Because if he does it all on his own, it doesn't work. A very simple plot, very simple growth. You can get to the growth opportunity by answering a couple of questions. First one is, what might they want at the beginning? So what was it that the character was looking for in the beginning of the story? And then look at the end. What is it that they might realize at the end of the story? From the start to the finish is where your growth opportunity will lie. Now let's look at some potential different obstacles.